Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Pisces June 20th, 2022. With the moon in your solar 4th house all day, family activities, home life, and endeavors that remind you of the need for comfort and familiarity are themes. You're getting in touch with your nesting instincts. The emphasis is on finding peace, comfort, and a stronger sense of self. Still, you can enjoy special connections with someone that are meaningful and supportive of your growth and goals. Collaborating can be very productive, and you might have the opportunity to show yourself in the best light. You seem to attract unusual energy in your closest relationships, and lively exchanges and be the result. Your colleague may surprise you today, just where you never expected romance could possibly happen. The current celestial aspect indicates that you have quite an intense attraction to contend with. If you feel the same way, this will work out wonderfully, and you can both ride off into the sunset. If not, you may have quite a problem getting your adoring admirer to keep away. Step out of your comfort zone. Now is the time to try something new and different at work since the moon is in Aquarius. However, making this adjustment does not come easily since your sign now squares the lunation. It could feel like a tug-o-war, especially if you deeply desire to execute your work in an individualistic manner to produce unique results that help you stand out against other competitors. But you will need to loosen some of your control first to embrace this radical lunar energy in your workspace. Be careful of blaming yourself for something that you really are not responsible for. It could be that there is a situation in which you inevitably influenced someone to act a certain way, and now that action is backfiring negatively. Remember that everyone has the right to make their own decisions, and that ultimately you are not responsible for decisions that someone else makes, regardless of the strong advice you may have given them. Your encounters run smoothly and amicably, like a peaceful flowing river. Family and friends would love to ride this wave with you. You now have the opportunity to resolve old conflicts and hurts and to move forward united. If you are smart about it, you will strengthen ties to your loved ones. You're feeling lucky, but this isn't a good time for gambling. You need to play it safe and wait for things to realign a little bit before you can feel good about taking any kind of risk. Your enthusiasm reveals your zest for life and your passion feels like second nature to you. Pursuing dreams you believe in, you're able to approach anyone you're interested in, give them an invitation or unmistakable encouragement. It's important not to let this opportunity pass. Make the most of any situation. The slightest thing may set you off into a downward spiral of self-pity today, so beware. Try your best to stay out of that nasty trap. Keep things on a positive note by sticking to your goals and do what needs to get done. The more productive you are today, the better you will feel. Your emotions are apt to be quite sensitive, so stay close to people who are positive and upbeat. You don't need any emotional leeches. This is the day to get caught up. The essence of a vibration will encourage you to finish up those tasks that have been in process. Not only will there probably be plenty on that are job related, but also, you're likely to also find some home tasks to keep you busy. Feeling productive is something that suits you very well, and this is definitely the day for it. Just be sure that you leave enough time to wind down and relax when all is said and done. In a case of perfect timing, the moon not only returns to a fun, playful, romantic and creatively charged part of your chart in time to embrace the weekend spirit but to recapture some of the passion that Mars has invested here. This is the moon's first visit since Mars left, but also the last before dreamy Neptune turns retrograde here, opening the doors to the past and second chances. After what is likely to have been a busy week and with an even busier week likely next week, this is the perfect circuit breaker. In a case of perfect timing, the moon has not only chosen the weekend to return for its monthly visit to your romantic sector but Venus, the planet of love's last weekend in your relationship sector. This is a chance to introduce the spirit of romance into a weekend that is all about knowing what you want from your relationships and what they need from you moving forward. Our eyes in the sky. The airy Aquarius moon is your offbeat emotional guide for the day, urging you to forget about what other people think about you and just be your true, authentic self. This is easier said than done, but you really should have an easier go of it with this authentic, unique, and yes, tad bit rebellious lunar energy backing you up. Some great things to do now are making new friendships with interesting people you wouldn't normally include in your friend group and breaking free from stale, old life routines that no longer meet your needs. Later in the day, a Moon-Mars sextile helps you attract playmates, possibly, but not necessarily, in the sexual sense, who match your strong independent spirit and desire to experiment and think outside the box. You can form a strong partnership with this person, but having fun in the moment doesn't mean it will last forever. The desire for intimacy is strong, but satisfaction isn't always guaranteed. Don't worry about relationships ending or falling apart. As long as you make the effort to get along with others, you can easily remedy any tense situations. Mercury is still in its retrograde shadow, which means that you'll have time to make amends and clear up any misunderstandings. Knowing this removes the pressure that you could be feeling. If you're aware of how to act, then you can certainly temper yourself to act in a more appropriate manner in your relationships. Before noon, the Aquarius moon trines the Gemini sun. Under this easygoing aspect, we attract the proper alliances, moving through the day feeling calm and confident. Stressors roll off our backs, and conflict fails to provoke us. We also remain relaxed and open-minded in our engagements. With both luminaries currently in social air signs, we are particularly oriented to sharing what is on our minds. However, we are not especially self-centered, which makes us receptive to different points of view. Following this aspect's perfection, the moon begins its void of course, lasting until the late afternoon. At this time, we should avoid starting new projects, thinking of ourselves in the information-gathering stage instead. Mid-afternoon, Venus in Taurus squares off with Saturn in Aquarius, provoking relational tension. This transit can create difficulties in our intimate affairs, but it can also be a productive influence if used correctly. Primarily, this square enlightens us about the fact that something is not working as smoothly as it could be within our unions. Latent factors are prompting feelings of distance, detachment, or irritation within our partnerships. This is normal. When people with individual baggage seek to align their needs, some adjustment is required. Especially once we get past the honeymoon phase, we can neglect to put in the work to meet someone where they are. Instead, we wind up meeting them where they were, even though we are in the present. Try to have patience with loved ones now. Putting in some extra effort could be all that is required to get back on track.